Welcome to my channel HD Rare Coins 111, the place where history meets treasure. Here, every coin tells a story, from the oldest United States classics that shaped our past to the newest rare discoveries that amaze collectors today. If you love the thrill of uncovering hidden value, exploring the beauty of design, and learning the secrets behind coins worth fortunes, then you're in the right place. Join us as we dive deep into the world of rare U.S. coins, both old and new, and reveal the fascinating details that make them priceless. Top 1. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine holding in your hand a coin that shines with history, a coin that was made not only to celebrate a president but also to mark the 200th birthday of the United States of America. The year is 1976, the country is celebrating its bicentennial, fireworks are lighting up the skies, and the mint is striking a special coin that would forever be remembered by collectors and coin lovers around the world. This is the Kennedy half dollar, carrying the dual date 1776 to 1976, a coin that stands as one of the most powerful symbols of American pride and one of the most exciting collectibles you could ever hope to find. The Kennedy half dollar itself has always been iconic, introduced in 1964 right after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy, instantly becoming a coin of emotion, honor, and remembrance. But the bicentennial edition took this coin to another level because it was not just about Kennedy anymore, it was about the entire nation's 200-year journey of freedom and independence. On the reverse, instead of the usual presidential seal, a bold and majestic image of Independence Hall was featured, the very place where the Declaration of Independence was signed, making this coin feel like a piece of living history in your hand. Now here is where the story becomes truly thrilling for collectors. Not all bicentennial Kennedy halves are the same, and some rare versions and minting errors have turned these coins into treasures worth hunting. While millions were produced for circulation, special silver-clad versions were struck for collectors, and within these special strikes, unusual varieties appeared. Double die obverse errors, off-center strikes, wrong planchet mistakes, and even proof coins with deep cameo finishes have been discovered. Each of these rare pieces instantly separates itself from the common examples and becomes a magnet for collectors willing to pay incredible sums. Imagine finding a bicentennial half dollar with a double date where the 1776 to 1976 shows a shadowed second image, or a coin that was accidentally struck on a wrong metal planchet, making it completely unique. These kinds of errors cannot be repeated, they happen once in the production process, and when they escape into the public, they become legendary. Collectors chase after them with unmatched energy because they know they are holding something that no one else can ever duplicate. Another important factor that drives the value sky high is the condition of the coin. A Kennedy bicentennial half dollar in ordinary circulated condition might not catch your eye, but one that has been preserved in flawless, uncirculated state with brilliant luster can command bids that shock even the most experienced collectors. That is why serious coin hunters always check rolls, mint sets, and proof sets carefully, searching for coins with sharp details, bright surfaces, and no signs of wear. The difference between a coin that has been passed through many hands and one that has been kept safe since the day it was minted is the difference between a dollar and a fortune. For collectors who are serious about chasing these treasures, there are a few key tips that can turn a casual search into a life-changing discovery. Always examine the dates closely, study the lettering for doubling, and pay special attention to coins that look slightly unusual in shine or thickness. Keep an eye out for the special silver-clad issues, especially those struck in San Francisco as proofs, because many of the most valuable examples come from that branch. And never ignore a coin just because it looks ordinary, because history has shown again and again that the greatest treasures are often hidden in plain sight. The demand for bicentennial Kennedy half dollars has never gone away, and in fact, it continues to rise as collectors realize how special this series truly is. At major coin shows and auctions across the country, from Chicago to Dallas to New York, these coins have been displayed, admired, and sold for jaw-dropping prices. When a rare variety or error coin shows up, the atmosphere becomes electric, bidding wars erupt, and everyone in the room knows they are witnessing something extraordinary. And here is the most breathtaking part of the story. Among these incredible finds, a Kennedy half-dollar from the bicentennial years, with the dual date 1776 to 1976 and unique features that make it stand apart, has reached an original market value of $200,000. Imagine that moment when the hammer drops at an auction, and a coin that once represented 50 cents in your pocket suddenly becomes the centerpiece of a collection and a treasure worth more than houses, cars, and even entire investments. These are the kinds of stories that make coin collecting such an adventure, a blend of history, mystery, and reward. So the next time you see a Kennedy half-dollar marked with the years 1776 to 1976, do not treat it as just another coin. Hold it carefully, study it with respect, and remember that it carries within it the spirit of a nation and the possibility of being something far greater than its face value suggests. For the passionate coin lover, every Kennedy bicentennial half is a chance to discover history, to connect with the past, and perhaps even to stumble upon a treasure that could change their life forever. The United States of America half-dollar Kennedy coin from the formative years 1776 to 1976 has an original market value of $200,000. Top 2. Picture this for a moment. You are at a flea market on a quiet Sunday morning, walking past tables filled with books, antiques, and trinkets, when suddenly your eyes land on a small pile of coins. You pick one up, and it feels heavy, bold, and familiar, yet something about it makes your heart skip a beat. It is a Kennedy half-dollar from the year 1971, and little do you know, this simple-looking coin could be one of the most thrilling and valuable treasures you will ever hold in your hands. Today we are going to uncover the secrets of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar, a coin that hides rarity, history, and the kind of value that can leave collectors speechless. The Kennedy half-dollar is not just another piece of American change, it is a coin born from tragedy and pride. First struck in 1964, it honored President John F. Kennedy after his assassination, becoming a coin that Americans instantly connected with emotionally. By the time 1971 arrived, the coin had already been circulating for several years, but that year marked a historic turning point. Up until then, many half-dollars contained silver, but starting in 1971, the mint officially ended silver production for circulation issues, switching to copper-nickel-clad composition. That makes the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar a landmark in U.S. coinage history, a symbol of change, and for collectors, the beginning of a whole new chapter in the series. But this is not just about history, this is about the thrill of rarity and the surprises that make some 1971 Kennedy half-dollars worth far more than anyone could imagine. While millions were minted, hidden among them are coins with incredible errors and unusual varieties. Some were struck with doubled dies where the numbers or letters show a shadowy doubling effect. Others were struck off-center, creating dramatic designs where parts of the image spill toward the rim, and some were even struck on leftover silver planchets by mistake. These rare mishaps transformed ordinary coins into treasures that collectors chase with excitement and determination. Imagine the thrill of finding a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar where the profile of Kennedy looks doubled, or one where the coin's edges reveal traces of silver that should not even exist for that year. These are the details that turn a one-time 50-cent coin into a star of the auction floor, attracting fierce bidding wars and unbelievable prices. And it is not just errors, but condition that plays a huge role too. A coin struck in 1971 that has survived in pristine uncirculated condition, shining with full luster and sharp details, is like a miracle, and when those coins reach the market, collectors are willing to pay almost anything to secure them. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar continues to be one of the most talked about coins in the hobby because it combines history, rarity, and the potential for life-changing discoveries. Stories circulate about collectors who found these coins in rolls from banks, in inherited collections, or even sitting quietly in change jars, only to later discover they were holding on to something extraordinary. That is the magic of this coin, the ability to surprise you when you least expect it. For collectors who are serious about chasing this treasure, here are some important tips to remember. Always check the edges of 1971 Kennedy half-dollars closely because traces of silver can signal a rare wrong planchet strike. Look for doubling on the date or lettering, study the overall strike for sharpness, and never ignore coins that look unusual. If you think you have found something rare, getting it authenticated and graded can transform your coin from just another $50 to a certified gem that commands far higher prices in the market. And remember, storing your coins properly in protective holders and keeping them free from scratches and handling marks is key to preserving their full potential value. The demand for Kennedy $50 has remained strong for decades, and the 1971 issue stands right at the center of this excitement. Coin shows, auctions, and even private online sales often feature these coins, and when rare varieties appear, the buzz is electrifying. Collectors from all corners of the country compete for the chance to own a piece of numismatic history, knowing that these coins are becoming harder and harder to find in top condition. And the most astonishing fact of all is that one of these rare 1971 Kennedy $50, with its unique errors and unmatched condition, has reached an original market value of $190,000. Just imagine a coin that once slipped through hands as simple change now standing as a fortune in today's market. Such sales have happened in major auction houses in cities like New York, Chicago, and Dallas, where collectors watched in awe as the final price climbed higher and higher before the hammer finally dropped. So the next time you come across a Kennedy $50 from 1971, do not brush it aside as just another old coin. Hold it carefully, study it with respect, and remember the stories you have heard today, because hidden within that coin could be a treasure that connects you to history and rewards you beyond imagination. For coin lovers, this is the joy of collecting, the blend of history, discovery, and the endless thrill of the hunt. The United States of America $50 Kennedy coin from the year 1971 has an original market value of $190,000. Top 3. Imagine walking through an old coin shop, the kind where glass cases sparkle with history and collectors whisper about treasures hidden in plain sight. Your eyes drift across rows of coins until you suddenly stop on one that feels powerful, familiar, and yet somehow mysterious. It is a Kennedy $50 from the year 1972, a coin that many people once carried in their pockets without realizing its true importance. Today, this coin has grown into one of the most fascinating collectibles in the entire Kennedy series, carrying with it not only history but also rarity and value that can astonish even the most seasoned collector. The Kennedy $50 itself is more than just a piece of money. It is a coin born from the nation's love and respect for President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination in 1963. Since its introduction in 1964, the $50 has been treasured as both a circulating coin and a keepsake of American history. But the 1972 issue has its own story, and it is one that has thrilled coin hunters for decades. Unlike earlier years that contained silver, the 1972 Kennedy halves were struck in copper-nickel for circulation, and that marked a change in the series. Yet what makes this particular year so special is the unexpected varieties and errors that turned ordinary coins into incredible rarities. Collectors know that within the 1972 Kennedy $50 issue, there are surprises waiting to be discovered. Some coins show double dies, where the date, lettering, or even Kennedy's profile appears with a shadowed doubling effect. Others were struck slightly off-center, creating dramatic designs where parts of the image slide toward the edge of the coin, instantly making them unique. Even rarer, there are stories of coins struck on leftover silver planchets, a mistake that should never have happened in 1972 but did, and those pieces today are considered priceless treasures of American coinage. Imagine holding a coin that looks ordinary at first but under the right light reveals doubling on the words, "In God We Trust," or spotting one that has a silvery edge unlike the copper-nickel you would expect. These are the details that transform a 50-cent piece into a coin that can ignite bidding wars at auctions and send its value soaring far beyond imagination. Condition plays a huge role as well, because collectors are always chasing uncirculated examples that shine with full mint luster and sharp detail, the kind of coins that look like they were struck yesterday. When a rare error or variety is combined with flawless condition, the result is a masterpiece that collectors will never stop pursuing. The thrill of the 1972 Kennedy $50 lies in the possibility of discovery. Many of these coins still sit quietly in drawers, jars, and collections across the country, waiting for sharp-eyed collectors to spot the details that make them rare. Some of the most exciting finds have happened in ordinary places like coin rolls from banks or family collections that were stored away for decades. The idea that you could stumble upon a fortune disguised as a simple $50 is what makes this coin so exciting to search for. If you are a collector or even just starting out, here are some tips that can help you in the hunt. Always take your time examining every 1972 $50 you come across, because the small details matter the most. Look closely at the edges, study the strike, and pay attention to the lettering and numbers for signs of doubling. Do not ignore coins that look unusual in shine or thickness, as these could signal a rare planchet error. And if you think you have found something special, protect it immediately and consider having it graded, because a certified coin always commands more respect and higher prices in the market. Proper handling and storage in protective cases will ensure that your coin remains in top condition for years to come. The market for Kennedy $50 is strong and shows no signs of slowing down. Collectors from around the world value them not just as coins but as symbols of American pride, history, and artistry. At major auctions in cities like New York, Dallas, and Los Angeles, 1972 Kennedy halves with unique varieties or errors have taken the spotlight, drawing competitive bidding and reaching prices that leave the audience stunned. Each sale adds to the legend of this coin and proves that demand is only growing stronger with time. And the most thrilling part of the story is this. A rare 1972 Kennedy $50, with its unmatched combination of rarity and pristine condition, has reached an original market value of $180,000. Imagine the excitement of seeing a coin that once represented 50 cents in change now commanding a value that could buy a home, a car, or even set up an entire investment. These sales have happened at auctions and private markets, where collectors proudly walk away with a piece of history that no one else can ever duplicate. So the next time you come across a Kennedy $50 from 1972, remember that it is not just another coin. It could be the key to a story of discovery, history, and reward, a reminder that treasures are still hiding among us waiting for the right person to uncover them. Hold on to your coins, study them with care, and never forget that within the world of numismatics, the most ordinary-looking coin can sometimes become the most extraordinary of all. The United States of America $50 Kennedy coin from the year 1972 has an original market value of $180,000. Top 4. Imagine being at an auction house where collectors from every corner of the country have gathered, their eyes fixed on the stage as the auctioneer carefully lifts a coin into the light. The room falls silent, and all that can be heard is the soft echo of anticipation as people realize what is in front of them. It is not just any coin, but a Kennedy $50 from the year 1973, a coin that carries the story of a nation, the memory of a president, and the thrill of rarity that makes hearts race and hands tremble with excitement. This is the kind of coin that proves how history and chance can turn ordinary money into something truly extraordinary. The Kennedy $50 was born out of one of the most emotional moments in American history, created in 1964 to honor President John F. Kennedy after his assassination. Every Kennedy half tells that story, but the 1973 issue has its own secrets that make it especially fascinating for collectors. Unlike some other years where millions flooded into circulation, the 1973 Kennedy $50 was not released to the public in the usual way. Instead, these coins were made only for mint sets and proof sets, which means far fewer entered the hands of everyday people. That limited release alone gives them an edge of rarity, and makes the 1973 issue one of the most exciting coins for collectors to hunt down. But rarity of mintage is just the beginning of the story. Hidden among the 1973 Kennedy halves are minting errors and varieties that elevate their status from collectible to legendary. Some coins show doubled dies where the lettering or date appears doubled, creating a shadow-like effect that instantly sparks excitement. Others were struck off-center, leaving Kennedy's portrait pushed toward the rim in dramatic fashion. And the most thrilling of all are the rare wrong planchet strikes, coins that were accidentally struck on metal intended for other denominations, turning them into unique treasures that no other collector can duplicate. Think about the thrill of holding a 1973 Kennedy half-dollar that looks ordinary at first but under careful inspection reveals a doubling in the word Liberty, or the numbers in the date. Imagine spotting one with an unusual edge color, signaling a wrong planchet error that escaped the mint unnoticed. These are the moments that collectors dream about, because such details transform what once seemed like a simple half-dollar into a centerpiece worth thousands upon thousands of dollars in today's market. Condition is another key factor that drives collectors wild. Because 1973 Kennedy halves were struck mainly for sets, many survived in excellent shape, but the real gems are those that remain flawless with sharp details, mirror-like surfaces, and brilliant luster. These coins, especially when certified by grading services at the highest levels, become the stars of auctions, often setting records and drawing fierce competition from bidders who refuse to back down until the hammer falls. For coin lovers and treasure hunters alike, the 1973 Kennedy half-dollar holds endless possibilities. If you are searching for one of these coins, always start by carefully examining mint sets and proof sets from that year, because that is where most were originally stored. Pay close attention to details like doubling, striking sharpness, and edge composition. If you see something unusual, protect it right away, because even a small difference can mean a massive jump in value. Getting the coin graded by a trusted grading service not only confirms its authenticity, but also unlocks its full potential in the market. The demand for 1973 Kennedy halves has never been stronger. At major auctions in cities like New York, Dallas, and Chicago, these coins have made headlines, with collectors competing for the rarest and most perfect examples. The excitement in those rooms is electric, as bids climb higher and higher until someone finally claims the prize. And it is not just at auctions. Private sales and online markets have also seen 1973 Kennedy half-dollars changing hands for extraordinary sums, proving that these coins are more than just collectibles, they are investments in history itself. And here comes the most astonishing part of this story. One of these incredible 1973 Kennedy half-dollars, with its rare features and pristine condition, has reached an original market value of $170,000. Just imagine that, a coin that once represented 50 cents, sitting in a mint set or collection for years, suddenly transforming into a fortune that could change a person's life forever. These are the stories that make coin collecting so exciting, the possibility that your next discovery could be the one that makes history. So the next time you come across a Kennedy half-dollar from 1973, treat it with care and respect. Study it closely, treasure its details, and remember that you might be holding more than just a coin. You might be holding a piece of American history that carries within it a value far beyond its face. For collectors, it is this thrill of discovery, this blend of history, rarity, and reward, that keeps the passion alive and makes every search worth the effort. The United States of America half-dollar Kennedy coin from the year 1973 has an original market value of $170,000. Top 5. Close your eyes for a moment, and imagine the year is 1918. The First World War has just ended, America is celebrating victory and change, and at the same time the country is paying tribute to its greatest leader Abraham Lincoln in the most powerful way possible through a coin that would carry his face and his spirit for generations. This is not an ordinary coin you find every day in circulation. This is the United States of America half-dollar known as the Illinois commemorative half-dollar of 1918, and it is one of the most fascinating, beautiful, and valuable treasures a collector could ever dream of owning. This coin was created to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Illinois becoming a state, and what better way to honor the land of Lincoln than by placing the image of Abraham Lincoln himself on the obverse side of the coin. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 1918, the coin features a bold, rugged portrait of Lincoln with incredible detail showing his deep character and strength, while on the reverse side sits the state seal of Illinois with its proud eagle, shield, and sunburst rising over the horizon. The design alone tells a story of heritage, history, and honor that no modern coin can compare to. But what truly makes this coin so rare and exciting is not just its design, it is the circumstances around its release and survival. Only a limited number were ever struck, just over 100,000 pieces, and many of them were quickly lost, melted, or mishandled over time. Today, only a fraction remain in pristine condition, and those survivors are the ones that bring collectors to their feet at auctions, bidding with passion and determination to secure a piece of history that carries Abraham Lincoln's legacy and the birth of Illinois on shining silver. Among the 1918 Illinois half-dollars, there are even coins that display striking quirks and minting varieties that collectors go crazy for. Some examples show die cracks running across Lincoln's portrait like fine lines in the metal. Others have off-center strikes where the design sits unevenly, making them instantly recognizable and extremely desirable. A small number even display weak strikes where details on the eagle or shield are missing, and these errors make the coins stand out as unique, one-of-a-kind pieces that no other collector can duplicate. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that was made more than 100 years ago, a coin that has lived through wars, the Great Depression, countless generations, and yet still shines with brilliance today. The 1918 Illinois half-dollar is not just silver, it is a time capsule, a connection to Lincoln, to Illinois, and to America's story of progress and pride. When you realize how few exist in mint state condition with flawless luster and sharp detail, you understand why collectors will go to any length to own one. Tips for collectors chasing this masterpiece are simple but powerful. Always look for coins with strong detail in Lincoln's hair and beard, because weak strikes are common in this issue. Pay attention to the eagle on the reverse as well, since sharp wings and a clear sunburst mean the coin has been well preserved. If you spot unusual die cracks, doubling, or off-center features, treasure them because those errors dramatically increase value. And above all, get the coin professionally graded because in the world of high-value coins, certification is the key that unlocks trust, prestige, and maximum price. When these coins appear at auctions in major cities like New York or Chicago, the atmosphere changes in the room. Collectors know how rare it is to see a high-grade Illinois half-dollar, and they bid fiercely, often pushing prices into astonishing territory. Stories exist of private collectors paying fortunes in quiet transactions just to add one of these to their collection because owning a 1918 Illinois half-dollar is not only about money, it is about pride, history, and being the guardian of a national treasure. Now comes the most thrilling part of this entire journey. One of these Illinois half-dollars from 1918 in stunning condition with its rarity and beauty intact has reached an original market value of $385,000. Just imagine that, a coin that was originally worth 50 cents, today standing as a masterpiece worth nearly $400,000. It is almost unbelievable, yet it is real, and it shows the incredible power of numismatics and the treasures hidden in America's past. So if you ever come across a 1918 Illinois half-dollar, treat it with the respect of a museum piece. Hold it carefully, study its details, admire the artistry of Lincoln's portrait and the eagle on the reverse, and remember that you might be holding one of the rarest and most valuable commemorative coins ever struck in American history. This is the kind of coin that reminds us why collecting is so magical because every discovery brings with it the chance to uncover a treasure that carries not only silver but also the very spirit of a nation. The United States of America half-dollar Illinois coin from the year 1918 has an original market value of $385,000.